sórí ètò yìí ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi nílé lóko lẹ́yìn òdì mo kára lé mo kérò ọ̀nà mo kọ́kùnrin mo kóbìnrin mo kọ́mọdé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí àgbàlagbà wípé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò lórí ètò láwa ètò wa ètò yín ètò kan náà tí gbogbo wa ń pè ní ètò ìgbéyàwó. Let's talk traditional weddings and more with Bùnmi Meet the Royals. Àmọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe wa lórí ètò yìí kó tó di pé aṣọ nǹkan ṣé rí pé ẹ ká júbà ọba kọ́dá ayé ọba ṣẹ̀dá ọ̀run ọba lánàá ọba lẹ́ni ọba títí ayérayé kọrin kése ẹlẹ́bùn ìkẹ́ ọba tó tó nípa tó kọ̀ tí ò pani tó ṣe pé ṣe ló ń pani mọ́ ọba tá a dágbére fún ní òtẹ̀tí wá jọjọ́ mẹ́jọ lọ báyìí ọ̀sẹ̀ kejì sẹ́yìn ta ní à ń lọ kábọ̀ tó jẹ́ kó ṣeé ṣe fèmí àti láti tún rọ́jọ́ òní láyé láàyè àti láyé rere ábíyèsí Elédùmarè àrùn Fáyọ̀bí Òṣọpẹ́ olúwa ẹgbọ́pẹ́ kẹgbà yín wa mo dúpẹ́ nítorí pé ẹ pa èmi Olúwabùnmi aya Òṣìbẹ̀rù tí mo bá yé mọ̀ sí Bùnmi Meet the Royals alága ìdúró alága ìjókòó MC olóòtú ètò ìgbéyàwó gọ́ọ̀lì swaga ẹ pa mí mọ́ ẹ tún pa gbogbo àwọn èèyàn bí èèyàn ẹni bí ẹni àwọn èjìká tí ò jẹ́ kẹ́wò jábọ́ tí mo wò lórí ètò yìí ẹ tún bá mi pa wọ́n mọ́ tọmọtọmọ olúwa ẹ ṣeun ẹ gbọ́ pé kẹgbà yín wa mo tún fàsìkò náà dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ṣagbátẹrù ètò yìí pàápàá jùlọ àwọn iléeṣẹ́ kan gbòógì tó tó gbangba sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn tí wọ́n ń pè ní iléeṣẹ́ chorus dress and laces ẹ kú àdúrótì iléeṣẹ́ Celebration International Magazine ẹ kú àdúrótì iléeṣẹ́ Lizelle Fabrics all the way from Dallas, Texas ẹ ṣeun ṣeun ẹ kú àdúrótì iléeṣẹ́ Royal Vogue ẹ máa ṣeun 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 àmàdúpẹ́ ẹ kú àdúrótì àmàrò yìí bá iléeṣẹ́ First Rate Global ní Ṣàgámù lógún state tó ti bá yàrá rẹ̀ kọ́lé tó tún ti ń ta àwọn ohun ẹ̀yà ilé lóríṣiríṣi ẹ ṣeun ṣeun iléeṣẹ́ yóò ní jóná ọwọ́ yín àmàrò òkè àtàwọn èèyàn wọ̀nyí tí mo lórí ètò yìí ẹ ṣeun mo dúpẹ́ ẹ tún káàbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí sórí ètò wa ètò yín ètò ìgbéyàwó season 23 premiere omi tuntun ti rú ẹja tuntun ti wọnú ẹ bí eré bí àwàdà àti wọnú season 23 olúwa ẹ ṣeun kì í ṣe mímọ̀ ṣe o kì í ṣe nípa ipá o mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n bá wa wà lórí ètò yìí ní gbogbo ọ̀sẹ̀ tí wọ́n jẹ́ kọ́rọ̀ wa kó sú wọn ẹ ṣeun 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 mo dúpẹ́ thank you so much everybody for support every week. I really do appreciate you. Ogo olúwa ẹ ṣeun ẹ gbọ́pẹ́ kẹgbà yín wá ọ̀dà láì bọ́pọ̀ lọ́lé olóró àwọn tèmi Sumbostic bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwa lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá àti tọrọ gáfárà pé kò lè ṣe ká nílé wá nítorí it was beyond our control ẹ ṣeun Sumbostic ìyàwó bàbá tí àwọn olùkọ́ Fadimu thank you so much. Thank you Mide, thank you so much Mommy Eluyemi, thank you everybody. Traditionally, thank you so much everybody. Alpha Male, thank you for joining us. For those that I cannot mention your name, please pardon me. If you're on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube at this time, I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. Leni, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sórí àkórí ètò wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sórí àkórí ètò wa nítorí pé kí ni àròjọ mú so lókun rárá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sórí àkórí ètò wa.
Àwọn lẹ́sẹsẹ dákun jọ̀wọ́ bàbá wáyé. Ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé àwa ẹ̀dá ó wá dọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀ o. Ọlọ́run ọ̀run dákun má jà kófó. Àwọn lẹ́síwájú rẹ̀ dákun bàbá. Ìmìíràn kékeré rọ́nà sán, wọ́n kékeré lóra. Jọba jọ̀wọ́ má jẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́. Ìrànlọ́wọ́ ra wá ẹ̀dá, ó wá dọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀ bàbá. Ọlọ́run ọ̀run dákun má jẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́. Àwọn lẹ́síwájú rẹ̀ dákun bàbá. Bàbá ọ̀run àwa bẹ̀ ọ́. Àwọn lẹ́sẹ̀
ẹjẹ́ àwọn ẹsẹ̀ jó
jọ̀wọ́ bàbá
lẹ́jẹ́ ló bá dé.
ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé àwa ẹ̀dá ó wá dọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀ bàbá. Ọlọ́run ọ̀run dákun má jà kófó. Àwọn lẹ́síwájú rẹ̀ dákun bàbá.
Traditionally ló máa kọ́kọ́ gbá ẹ̀bùn nínú season yìí o. Traditionally wọ́n ti ń ṣe òwà káwọn lọ́wọ́
Bàbá ọ̀run máa wá bẹ̀ ọ́, àwọn olẹ́sẹsẹ dákun jọ̀wọ́ bàbá wáyé. Ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé àwa ẹ̀dá ó wá dọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀ o. Ọlọ́run ọ̀run dákun má jà kófó.
Àní pẹ́jù níbi orí yìí o, kọ́kọ́ bá káńsù láìsò wa. Kó tó di wípé wọ́n máa àwa náà ti gbogbo aláti mọ̀ pé tó bá fẹ́ kọ́kọ́ gbé ìpele àkọ́kọ́ wọlé nínú tàbá ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ sí season tuntun orin méjì la máa ń fi tí a máa kọ́kọ́ forí ọpẹ́ sí a dẹ̀ máa ń forí láti sọ fọ́lọ́run wípé ìwọ Ọlọ́run o ìwọ ló bá wa ṣe láti ọjọ́ yìí a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá fi orin tí ó máa gbé àkòrí ètò wa a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá gbé wọlé kọ́lọ́run kó jọ kó gbà fún wa nínú ìpele tuntun tá a ṣe mú yìí season 23 ladies and gentlemen. Like joke, we started from season 1 and we know that every single season contains 10 different episodes and you guys have been here. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kí lèmi fẹ́ fi dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín náà tó fẹ́ tó láti fi appreciate oore tẹ́ ń ṣe. Thank you so much everybody for being here week in week out, for always being here. I'm so grateful to every one of you. You're always here sharing the show, commenting. In fact, some of you sometimes when I even maybe for some reason for like last week now we couldn't come to this show because of a reason beyond our control. A lot of people were messaging me, kilode. In fact, one of our very beautiful mamas on this show, she went out, but we no go gree. We want ETO IGBEYAWO back. I really do appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for all that you're doing, for your support week in week out. So come on, boko lole oloro lele nítorí pé nǹkan tá ní ṣe pọ̀. My favorite song is coming up. Let's go to our topic for today. Somebody said pink. Everybody seems to love my pink. Hey! Thank you so much everybody for your word of encouragement, for your support. Liz Bespoke, oh thank you so much for coming. Delectable Pebbles, thank you so much. Oh yeah, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sórí àkòrí ètò wa nítorí àsìkò. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sórí ètò wa. Yeah, because of time.
Ọ̀làjúdé la wá gbàgbé àṣà ìdílé wa. Ọ̀làjúdé la wá gbàgbé àṣà ìdílé wa. Civilization ló já gbàgbé.
Oh yeah, let's go. Come on.
Ọ̀làjúdé la wá gbàgbé àṣà ìdílé wa.
Joyful noise, celebrating, jewelry. Thank you for joining.
Ìdílé wa. Civilization ló já gbàgbé gbogbo. Inú àṣà ìdílé ṣáná máa ń pè kàn ó ní ìbálọ́mọ ló tún wọ̀ sí kàn tàbí mọ́tò. Ló máa dé fáwọn.
Alájà súnbọ̀, mo ti gbọ́.
Wọ́n á bò mí sórí.
Oya, let's go. Mo náà yọ délé iṣẹ́. Oya.
Wọ́n ní kí ìyá sáré wọlé jáde lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta. Bójú ọmọ kọ̀ọ̀kọ́ bá sì jọ máa lé ṣe máa ṣe. Civilization ló jẹ́ gbàgbé gbogbo àdáyébá. Ọ̀làjúdé la wá gbàgbé àṣà ìdílé wa. Ọ̀làjúdé la wá gbàgbé.
Mo náà yọ délé wọ́n lè wọlé wọ́n lè win everybody.
Civilization ló jẹ́ gbàgbé gbogbo.
Oya, let's go.
Inú àṣà ìdílé wọ́n tún
Máa ń pè kàn ní àlọ́ wọn.
ìyàwó kì í kọ́ bá ń bè ìyàrá
Tí ò ní ná.
wá wá ṣàdúrà fún ìyàwó sínú omi. Wá lómi tó mú látòrí lọ títí lọ dẹ́sẹ̀.
Oya, let's go.
Láì fọṣọ wá nítorí kó má gbà níṣó.
Nílé ọkà civilization ló jẹ́ gbàgbé gbogbo àdáyébá.
Ọ̀làjúdé la wá gbàgbé àṣà ìdílé wa. Ọ̀làjúdé la wá gbàgbé àṣà ìdílé wa. Civilization ló já gbàgbé. ọ̀làjú ṣàlàṣe òyìnbó ló ṣèwé ìdìwé ọ̀làjú ṣàlàṣe òyìnbó ló ṣèwé ìdìwé òyìnbó ló ṣèwé ìdìwé ọ̀làjú ṣàlàṣe ọ̀làjú ṣàlàṣe kó tó wá di mọ́rí gìtá ọ̀làjú ṣàlàṣe ìdá ayé tipẹ́tipẹ́ ọ̀làjú ṣàlàṣe.
Orin yìí máa ń dùn mọ́ mi tí mi bá ti gbọ́dé lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ń tẹ́ mi lọ́rùn. Thank you to those that are commenting, those that are showing their dance emoji. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I love this song. I could play it all night, all day. I just love it. Thanks to the legendary Alhaji Saheed Òṣùpá. Ó ní ọ̀làjú dé la wá gbàgbé gbogbo àṣà ìdílé wa. Oh, thank you so much. Celebrity Beauty Jerry, honorary Loga wife. Yes, so thank you so much. You know, nǹkan tí la fẹ́ gbé sọ lẹ́nu ẹ̀yẹ wa kí ni nǹkan tó fẹ́ sọ lẹ́nu mo ti fi àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ ránṣẹ́ sí most of us have sent us messages before today to tell us the topic of today. By the way, this is the opening of season 23 and God has been faithful. He has seen us through 22 seasons, which means we've done 220 episodes on this show by the grace of God. So we've moved to season 23 and today we are starting today's episode. The season we are starting on the first episode, and the topic is the influence of Western civilization on our traditional weddings. The influence of Western civilization on our traditional wedding. Ìgbéyàwó tiwantiwa, ìgbéyàwó tìbílẹ̀, ọ̀nà wo àwa fi plus sí. A ní pé is it a curse or a blessing? The influence of of Western civilization on our traditional wedding, is it a blessing or a curse? Gẹ́gẹ́ bó lórí ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn ṣe sọ, wọ́n ní ọ̀làjú dé la wá gbàgbé àṣà ìdílé wa. Ọ̀làjú dé la wá gbàgbé àṣà ìdílé wa. Wọ́n ní civilization ló já gbàgbé gbogbo àdáyé wa. Wọ́n ní ọ̀làjú ṣàlàṣe òyìnbó ló ṣèwé ìdìwé ọ̀làjú ṣàlàṣe. Lórí ètò lẹ́ni nǹkan tó fẹ́ máa gbéyẹ̀wò ní ìhà tí ọ̀làjú tí ó kó àti ipa tó kó lórí ìgbéyàwó tiwantiwa. Traditional wedding, whether Yoruba traditional wedding, Igbo traditional wedding, also our own traditional wedding, African traditional wedding generally. What are the influence of civilization, Western civilization on this? Thank you so much, ma. Hey, MC Monite. Hey, thank you so much for joining us, ma'am. Please share this show. Please, it's important that we share this show. Now, let's take it one after the other like we normally do on this show. What is civilization? When we talk about Western civilization, what do we mean? Please, I know that some people will always respond to my questions here. The reason why I always ask questions at the beginning of this show, I just love the fact that this show is not just for the Olotu or the talking to keep talking. It is for every one of us to learn one thing or the other. And as I said to us, I don't ever come here without having my pen and paper. I always go back to this show to watch. Trust me, I have improved a lot. My wealth of knowledge has actually improved since I started doing this show. It's not because of me, it's because of the contribution of people on this show. Sometimes I actually think I know certain things until I hear what people say on this show. So please, today, let us start by first of all talking about civilization. When we talk about civilization, what are we talking about? What does civilization mean? And when we say the influence of Western civilization, what are we talking about? Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbé yẹ̀wò. Kí ni nǹkan tí a ní lọ́kàn nígbà tí a bá sọ pé civilization àti pé lọ́làjú, fine, we call it ọ̀làjú. What other way can we describe civilization? What do we mean by civilization? And when we say influence of civilization on our traditional wedding, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbé yẹ̀wò. MC Monite, I'm always counting on you, ma. I know you're always helping me out. I don't even know if you're supposed to be a teacher. The way you teach us on this show, in fact, it is well. Do we actually understand the word civilization? When we say civilization, of course, àti sọ ní èdè Yorùbá àti pé ní ọ̀làjú, but what other way can we describe civilization? What other thing can we say about civilization? Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbé yẹ̀wò. So that we will have foundation for our discussion tonight. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ó máa ń ká mi lára tí ó bá ti wá ń di towards the end, táwọn èèyàn ṣe wá dé tó ṣe máa ń dá wa padà sẹ́yìn pé à ń kó bẹ́ẹ̀ báyìí bá dẹ̀ ti sọ, but most of the time we talked about it. Somebody says society and culture, that's coming from the day. Okay, society and culture. Okay. Please, ma. People on this show, as well, I want to wonder about you, tí wọ́n ní òye jù wá lọ. When we say civilization. What are we talking about? What does it mean? I mean, kini ìtumọ̀. And modern day. Thank you, ma. I actually love the word modern day. Modern day. Ayé lajú sí, báyé ṣe ń lọ à ń tọ̀. Things were not the way. These are not the way it used to be anymore. Modern day. Things are being modernized. Thank you so much, ma. Please, if you have anybody else that want to say anything on this show, tell us. When we say civilization, what are we talking about? Ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ohùn sórí ètò yìí. Civilization has been said, society, culture, okay, modern day. Okay, I love that word. And in Yoruba, yàtọ̀ sí ọ̀làjú, kí ni nǹkan tí a tún lè pè civilization ní èdè Yorùbá? If anybody knows, what else can we call civilization? You know, then tí a máa sọ pé the influence of civilization. What are we talking about? The influence of civilization on our traditional wedding. Tá bá sọ pé the influence of kí ni nǹkan tá à ń sọ? Kí ni ìtumọ̀ pé nǹkan influence nǹkan? What way can we describe when we say the influence of modern day modernization or civilization on our tradition? Àṣà òde ìwòyí. Thank you, ma. Mọ́mí Olúkan, àgbà òní tán lórí ilẹ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Àṣà òde ìwòyí. Àwọn nǹkan tó jẹ́ wípé tá bá ṣe ní àwọn nǹkan pàtó pé tá bá ṣe ní òde ìwòyí, àwọn ọmọ sì máa wò wá pé, excuse me, what is that? They don't even have a clue. They don't understand, you know. So àṣà òde ìwòyí nǹkan amáyédẹrùn. Àwọn nǹkan tá tún lè pè ní amáyédẹrùn, ẹ ṣeun. Àwọn nǹkan òyìnbó, àwọn nǹkan tí olóyìnbó ti gbé síta, àwọn àṣà òyìnbó, àṣà àwòkọ́ṣe tó jẹ́ pé kò fi gbogbo ara jẹ́ àṣà tiwa, ṣùgbọ́n a kọ́ ní ọwọ́ àwọn òyìnbó aláwọ̀ funfun. Àwọn nǹkan tí a lè pè ní civilization òun nìyẹn. A wá fẹ́ wò pé kí ni influence civilization yìí lórí ètò ìgbéyàwó tiwantiwa. Yeah, you know, maybe I should just say like pardon me, like an advanced stage of human and social and cultural development is, you know, when things are advancing. We all get into civilization. Even in our own culture, we always advancing. You can call it technology improvement, you know, a lot of things that will never used to happen before. But now, every society or every culture, they get to a point of civilization. Thank you for joining us, Dapirufi. We really appreciate you, ma'am. We get to a point of civilization. We get a point where we improve, you know. Láyé ìgbà kan, nígbà táwọn bàbá kọ́kọ́ wálé ayé, wọn kì í wọ bàtà. But tó dé stage kan, wọn náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wọ bàtà. Ìgbà tó dé stage kan, wọn wọṣọ. Ìgbà tó yá wọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wọṣọ. Those things are improvements, you know. Things are evolving, things are getting better. But now, we're not even talking about the situation of our own culture. We are talking about the influence of Western civilization. And when I say Western civilization, what do I mean? Àṣà òyìnbó, àṣà tí kìí ṣe tiwa, àṣà tá a kọ́ láti àwọn elédè míì, àwọn aláwọ̀ míì, tá a mú wọnú àṣà wa. Àwa fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lẹ́yìn. The influence of this Western civilization, the influence of Western civilization, is it a blessing or a curse on our traditional wedding? Ṣé ó ṣàǹfààní fún ìgbéyàwó tìbílẹ̀ ni àbó ṣàkóbá fún ìgbéyàwó tìbílẹ̀? Mi tí ìgboro mọ́mí Ayọ̀délé padà látẹ̀kan, ẹ jẹ́ bá mi ké sí wọn. I really want her because she has been around for a while. Àwọn màmá wa tí wọ́n ti lé ní ogójì ọdún ọgọ́ta ọdún, àwọn máa tún ní idea. Àwọn tó jẹ́ young, wọ́n máa wọ pé what are you talking about? What? I didn't even know there was any other way. They didn't see it any other way. But those have been around, they've seen it both ways. They've seen it ní ayé tí wọ́n máa ń bomi sẹ́sẹ̀ ìyàwó. They've seen it ní ayé tí ìyàwó máa ń sí lẹ̀kẹ̀ sídìí láti fi ṣègbéyàwó. They've seen it in the days of tọ́mọ adi ṣùkú fúyàwó. Wọ́n ti rí nígbà tó jẹ́ pé aṣọ òkè àwọn gbogbo ẹ̀ ni wọ́n fi ń ṣègbéyàwó. Wọ́n dẹ̀ tún rí ní sí. But àwọn ọmọ tó wà nílé òde sí wọn tiẹ̀ láǹfààní láti rí àwọn nǹkan míì. So let's first of all mention some of the things that we do now. We do back in the days and we do now, comparing them together, knowing that, okay, this one we used to do it this certain way. Now we are doing it this way because of Western civilization. Mo máa Ayọ̀délé ní ọmọ kékeré ara àwọn under 16. Ẹ má bínú mà. Somebody said it has changed the way. Okay, let me just read comments. Let me read comments. Mommy said she's here. Well, thank you so much, ma. I don't like when you're quiet. Yeah, especially in topics like this, we need to learn, to tap from your wealth of knowledge and experience. Traditionally said it has changed the way traditional weddings are being conducted, especially with Yoruba culture. Some grooms don't even dobale. I mean, that one is a serious influence that we actually need to. I don't even know. Somebody said it has good and bad. It has good and bad. Everything has its own advantages and disadvantages. That's true. That's very true. Mommy said back in the days, it was within the family and in the family house. Thank you so much, ma'am. Back in the days, people are already beginning to pick things that used to be certain ways and are no longer certain ways. And I think we should take it from even the way we prepare for the traditional wedding, even from the way that the couples will meet. Let's start from there. Back in the days, like Mama already said, it used to be a family affair. Even back in the days, àti ṣe lórí ètò yìí, láyé ọjọ́ ọ̀nà ìpele. I think maybe in the next episode, I'm going to bring up the levels of how traditional wedding was being done back in the days compared to now, so that we can learn from it. Láti ìgbà ìwáṣẹ̀, láti ìgbà àwọn bàbá wa, kí ó tó di pé èèyàn ti ẹ̀gbéyàn kankan níyàwó rárá, ó ní bó ṣe ń ṣe. Láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ gan láti ẹ̀ tí máa kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí mu. Fún àpẹẹrẹ, I know that back in the days, you can't just go outside as my child and come back home and tell me, Mommy, guess what? That's what children of nowadays do. And I'll be like, what? I got proposed to yesterday. You got shekini. You got proposed to. Back in the days, it was never like that. Back in the days, there has to be step by step onto what should be done. Yes. So talking about the process of traditional weddings back in the days, number one, ọmọ kan lè dédé lọ, àtọkùnrin o, àtobìnrin o, wọn lè dédé lọ kọ́ dédé mú ìyàwó wálé pé dáàdì mo ti rẹ́ni tí mo fẹ́ fẹ́ ẹni tí mo fẹ́ fẹ́ ni, kò sí nǹkan tó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó ní ọ̀nà tí wọ́n máa ń gbé gbà, ó ní nǹkan tí wọ́n máa ń ṣe, ó ní ìwádìí tí wọ́n máa ń ṣe, ó ní ẹni tí wọ́n máa kọ́kọ́ lọ ṣe, òun náà ni wọ́n máa wá ti dárúkọ yẹn. Alárinà, the role of alárinà, they don't even bother about it anymore. The middleman, what's the role of an alárinà? The things that they do. I think next week I'm coming back to expatiate on the process of traditional wedding back in the days compared to now. But today, let's just take it on the surface. Let's talk about the influence of, so that we don't deviate. Now, even from the preparation, we know what is on here. Like your John, kò sí nǹkan tó jọ pé ọmọ kan lọ dé, bàbá mi mo ti rẹ́ni tí mo fẹ́ fẹ́, ìyá mi mo ti rẹ́ni tí mo fẹ́ fẹ́. In fact, kó tó ní bó tiẹ̀ wá dé ibẹ̀ yẹn ní ìgbà ìwáṣẹ̀ lọ́hùn wọ́n máa ń fa ọmọ fún ọkọ ni. They used to kind of look for the bride that will be suitable for the groom. They will look for the groom that will be suitable for the bride. It will be a kind of agreement between both. It will be a kind of agreement between both families, and they will just say, okay, this person is meant to be for this person. This person, she accepts you. Alaga Abodireyo, I'm trying to accept your request, ma. But I don't know what is wrong with Instagram. Instagram will just go away. Instagram. Oh. I don't know why Instagram is not. Don't click accept, but maybe you should log out and you should cancel the request and I will send it to you. So, the influence of westernization is what now made it so that a young person will have decided, in fact, what's the machine? Another thing that used to happen back in the days, I don't want to be the only one talking here. Oh yeah, what other things can we say that used to happen back in the days that are no longer happening now? Let's talk about it. What other thing that if Western influence has affected? One of them is back in the days, nobody, you dare not go out and come and be telling me, mommy look, I just got proposed to. Nibo, you can't do that back in the days. Only Boshima Jen. Now they will do family background check. Thank you, ma. You have to check the background of the family that the person is coming from thoroughly, not just anyhow. And now talking about that is prior, before the there is even anything called preparation for the wedding. These are the processes that, you know, back in the days they used to follow, and they used to follow it there. And then also hey, that one, if you mention it now, excuse me, back in the days you dare not get married and not be a virgin. It was a big taboo back in the days, where you cannot tell me that you want to get married and you are not a virgin. Kí ló dé tí Instagram ṣe báyìí tí kò jẹ́ kí n accept àwọn èèyàn wọlé? Okay, let me see if I can send a request to you, man. How would I put it wọlé o? Aboni Rayo, I can't see your face, so I need to see your face. I need to see your face, ma.
Okay.
Yeah, káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Yes, ma. Welcome to the show. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. Yes, ma. Káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí.
Let me put something on.
Oh, no worries, ma. No problem. We would love to see your face, ma. Just as you're trying to put something on, you can keep talking to save time. God bless you. Thank you for coming on the show, ma. Please, I know, but just for emphasis sake, mention your name and where you're joining us from. Mention your name and where you're joining us from. Yes, ma.
My name is Alaga Abonile, your pastor, Kuki Obawa.
God bless you, ma.
Thank you. I've been wanting to join this, but network and church activities. But today, I had to set my alarm that
thank you, ma.
Good evening, once again. Everybody, good evening. Love you all.
God bless you, ma. Baba, that's all to lọ yìí, ma. Baba, that's all to lọ. Ṣé gbọ́ topic wa, ma?
So I will not contribute.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. Yeah, you can exit for a second and then we'll come back when you get the message, so that if people that already know the message, they can come in. Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma. I really appreciate you. Well, for àǹfààní àwọn tó ń ṣe darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, nǹkan tá à ń sọ lálẹ́ yìí, òun ni ipa tí ọ̀làjú, pàápàá jùlọ ọ̀làjú ní tàwọn olóyìnbó dé, the influence of Western civilization on the Nigerian traditional wedding. We're talking about things that used to be, how things used to be back in the days, and how things are now. That's what we're talking about. Hey, thank you for joining us, ma'am. God bless you. So that's what we're talking about. So people have been mentioning a lot of things. No, talking about civilization. We've said it is Olaju. We've said it is modernization, you know, doing things in the new way, you know, development and all of that. That's what we're talking about tonight. Now, what are the influence of this Western civilization on our traditional wedding? Now, for us to be able to know the influence, we need to also know how we used to do things back in the days. How did we used to do things back in the days? Back in the days, we've mentioned a lot of things. You dare not go and just come home as my daughter and you come and tell me, Mommy, guess what? Guess what? I just got engaged to. Kò sí nǹkan tó jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ láyé ìgbà yẹn. Láyé ọjọ́ òun, ó tẹ̀ tó di pé ó lálàpọ̀ tí ẹ fẹ́ mú ọkọ. Wọ́n tiẹ̀ nígbà kó mọ́kọ wá ni. They used to kind of fẹ́ ọkọ fún ọmọ láyé ìgbà yẹn. Wọ́n máa wáyàwó náà fún ọkọ ni. Even tó bá rí ẹni tó fẹ́ láyé ọjọ́ òun, ara kan tá à ń sọ nìyẹn pé you will first of all come home. Daddy, I saw this person, I saw this person. Wọ́n ní ayé ìgbà yẹn alárinà wà. Láyé ìgbà yẹn obìnrin ò gbọ́dọ̀ lọ lé ọkọ tó dẹ̀ pé láì má ní bá ìbálé níbẹ̀. What people call virginity, you know, back in the days, it is a taboo for a woman to be married, especially in an African Yoruba setting. You cannot be married and not be a virgin. So many things. You cannot jump protocols. You cannot just jump and say, I want to bring somebody up. Back in the days as well, during the traditional weddings, there are processes to it. In fact, gẹ́gẹ́ bí èmi ṣe gbọ́, wọ́n ní ayé àtijọ́, ipò ọjọ́ méje gbáko ni wọ́n fi máa ń ṣe ayẹyẹ ìgbéyàwó, tí wọ́n fi máa ń ṣe alẹ́ ẹkún ìyàwó, alẹ́ ilé ìyá, alẹ́ tọ̀hún, alẹ́ oríṣiríṣi ni wọ́n máa ń ṣe. Àwọn nísìnyí 10 minutes wọ́n fẹ́ lè gbé ká fi 10 minutes ṣe traditional wedding. Ní ayé ọjọ́ òun náà, wọ́n ní nínú ilé náà ti máa ń ṣe. Ní ayé ọjọ́ òun, it used to be like within families, but now it's general. you know, a lot of things have changed. Now, people, remember that on this show, you can call us on +44 7828 500938. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ pè wá sórí WhatsApp. Ẹ jẹ́ ká dá sétò yìí. Let's rub minds together. Let's talk about the influence of this westernization on our traditional wedding. Let's talk about the good and the bad. And we've mentioned so many things that was, you know, used to be this way and it's no longer that way. Now, we also want to talk about, okay, nínú àwọn nǹkan tá a sọ yìí, èwo nínú wọn ni ó jẹ́ wípé àǹfààní ló ṣe fún wa, èwo nínú wọn ló jẹ́ pé àkóbá ló ṣe fún wa. I mean, the advantages and disadvantages of this Western civilization on our traditional wedding, and that's where we are at the moment. Nítorí àkókò, nítorí pé a ṣe máa ṣe abala kíni kí n ṣe. Also remember that if you're busy, like our mom was talking about wọlé sìn alága abóníreyọ̀, wọ́n nígbà míì àwọn máa wà in church, ìgbà míì àwọn máa ṣe other things. You can leave voice notes, man. You can leave us a voice note on WhatsApp +44 7828 500938. Òun ni ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ tí ẹ máa fi ohùn sílẹ̀ sí. Tẹ́ bá fi voice note, hello, ètò ìgbéyàwó lórí nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ sọ, báyìí lé mi lérò, báyìí lé mi lérò, ẹ lè fi ohùn sílẹ̀ fún wa. A máa play ohùn yẹn, gbogbo èèyàn máa gbọ́, ó máa dàbí pé ẹ join wa live ni. Nítorí nígbà míì to call directly may be a challenge. Thank you for joining us, Delenke Duchess. So people, now let's talk about these ones that are good, that are of blessings to our traditional wedding. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ sọ nípa àwọn tí nǹkan tó dáa nínú àwọn nǹkan ọ̀làjú tá à ń ṣe láyé ìsìn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ sọ nípa àwọn wo gan ni wọ́n ní àǹfààní tí wọ́n ṣe fún wa. Let's talk about it, people. Please don't be quiet. Kí ni nǹkan tá a rí pé ó jẹ́ nǹkan tá à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí nínú àṣà ìgbéyàwó tá à ń ṣe nísinsìnyí tí a rí wípé ó jẹ́ nǹkan báwo ni Yorùbá ṣe máa ń pè nǹkan ìwúrí àti àwọn tó jẹ́ pé ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó, that are not so you know, that they don't have positive influence on our traditional wedding. Now I'm going to stop talking, and if people are not talking, I'm going to be quiet. You know, I don't like being the only one talking on this show. I love to hear people's voices. I love to hear your opinion. What are the things that you are doing now tí a fi wípé àǹfààní ló ṣe fún wa? Àbí tá bá wá rí ìtàrí pé à ń ṣe o kò dára rárá o, àǹfààní kò ṣàǹfààní. Èèyàn kan ní alága ìdúró àtàlága ìjókòó. Lóòótọ́ ni láyé ìgbà kan kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ alága ìdúró àtàlága ìjókòó. Àmọ́ nísìn alága ìdúró àtàlága ìjókòó ti wà. Ara civilization náà ni o, honestly speaking, because back in the days it used to be ìyàwólé that would do this thing. Àmọ́ bí alága ìdúró alága ìjókòó ṣe wà yìí, ṣé àǹfààní ló ṣe fún ìgbéyàwó tiwantiwa àbí àbùkù ló ta bá ìgbéyàwó tiwa? Alága abóníreyọ̀ wọ́n tún ti padà jẹ́ ká gbọ́ nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ sọ fún wa tó láwọn tó jáde ẹ kálẹ́ mà, ẹ káàbọ̀ sí ilé ètò yìí mà. Yes ma. Ẹ ṣeun mà. Ẹ ṣeun mà.
Ní tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ní ayé àtijọ́,
bẹ́ẹ̀ni,
nǹkan kan tá à tẹ̀ kí ṣe wọ́n máa ń ṣe jù láyé àtijọ́. Tí obìnrin bá fẹ́ fẹ́ ọkùnrin, wọ́n máa wádìí fámìlì yẹn dáadáa. Kò dẹ́ ń jà kí n ṣe mọ́sìn tí ò dẹ̀ dá. Engagement àti ọmọ kọ́kọ́ kọ lẹ́tà lọ́nà. Lẹ́tà bá kọ́kọ́ kọ ìwé sí fámìlì obìnrin. Fámìlì obìnrin á tún dáwé padà. Ọjọ́ ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ wọ̀ nísìn á tún kó gbogbo ẹ̀ pọ̀. Á ti ń kó pọ̀ tó tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ìgbéyàwó òbí gan. Ìjọ ìgbéyàwó ìjọ engagement ni àwọn fámìlì máa ṣẹ̀ mọ́ra wọn. Kò dẹ̀ dá rárá. I
love that. I love that.
Ó yẹ ká tún padà sí nǹkan báyẹn ká lè fi ọkọ kí ọkọ àti ìyàwó kí fámìlì mọ́ra wọn, ọkọ àti ìyàwó nìkan ló fẹ́ra wọn. Ṣùgbọ́n nísìn àárọ̀ ọjọ́ yẹn wọ́n máa ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀pọ̀ lọ́jọ́ kan. Ẹ ṣe mà.
Mo máa fẹ́ràn point yín yẹn o. Thank you so much ma. Ẹ ṣe gan ni ifá lára àwọn nǹkan tí à ń ṣe láyé ìsìn tó bójú wí pátápátá òun ni wípé ká ṣègbéyàwó àti ìmọ̀yáyàwó àti ìmọ̀yáyàwó. Ìgbà míì àwọn ìyọkọ àti ìyàwó nìkan lọ́kàn máa mọra wọn, kò sẹ́ni kankan tó mọ ẹni yẹn mọ́ nínú ẹbí yàtọ̀ sí ìyàwó. Àǹfààní kí ló ti ń pè àbùkù tó dẹ̀ wà nínú yẹn ó pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ. Kódà wọ́n tún wá ní tá bá tún wá fẹ́ ṣègbéyàwó yẹn o kò tún sí àyè láti ṣe mọ̀ mí mọ́. It's a man introduction. Back in the days, we used to have plenty of time for introduction where we will introduce every member of the family one after the other. káàtẹ̀ wá ní kò sí àǹfààní fún wa láti ríra kó tó dọjọ́ yẹn kí ló dé tó dọjọ́ yẹn tá a tún lè ṣoore ọ̀fẹ́ ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ no ẹ kó gbogbo ẹbí pọ̀ àwa pé bàbá ìyàwó àti gbogbo ọkùnrin ilé ẹ dìde ìyẹn níbi tá bá tẹ̀ sí ráyè ṣe introduction rárá o ẹ̀yà ìyàwó àti gbogbo obìnrin ilé ẹ dìde alága abóníreyọ̀ làkàyè yóò ní parẹ́. That was one of the most horrible, you know, because irú ẹ jẹ́ ká wá sọ nípa irú ìtasọ̀tọ̀ yìí ń sìn irú what kind of curse, because we're talking about the blessings and the curses of civilization on our traditional wedding. Irú àkóbáwo ni eléyìí ṣe fún ìgbéyàwó ìtìsìn tó jẹ́ pé ó lè fa àkóbá irú àkóbáwo ló lè fà nínú ẹbí kó jẹ́ pé àmọ́ra ọjọ́ yẹn la ríra àdẹ̀túnra lọ́jọ́ náà fún 1 hour pé la fẹ́ fi after that oníkálukú tó ti tiẹ̀ lọ irú àkóbáwo ló lè ṣe fún ìgbéyàwó yìí. Somebody said knowing about your family your child is getting married to, yes, sorry, similar to what you're saying, the good and bad things, including if there are any illnesses in the family, is a good one. Thank you, ma. Back in the days, they used to take time to study the family. They used to take time to look into the family. Hey, Joma, hey, God bless you, MC Mona. Nǹkan tí mo ti fẹ́ sọ rèé. Mo fẹ́ fi àsìkò yìí rọ gbogbo àwa tí a jẹ́ alága, pàápàá jùlọ àwa tí a jẹ́ alága lórí ètò yìí. Àwa gbogbo ló yẹ ká máa tọ́ àwọn èèyàn sọ́nà, àwa ló yẹ ká jẹ́ atọ́ka fún bó ṣe yẹ ká máa ṣe. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, please alága, let us stop referring àti gbogbo èèyàn. Let us stop referring to our traditional wedding as engagement. Mi mọ̀ bí tí the word engagement jáde wá o. Ara ọ̀làjú burúkú kan tí kò ní túmọ̀. Òun nìyẹn o. It is not engagement. It is traditional marriage. Ní ayé àwọn ìyá wa lọ́hùn. Wọn kì í lọ church, wọn lọ mọ́ṣáláṣí o. Tí wọ́n bá ti ṣe ìgbéyàwó ìbílẹ̀, wọ́n ti ṣe ìyàwó nìyẹn. And we cannot call it engagement because it is wedding. Please, I want to mo fẹ́ rọ gbogbo àwọn alága pàápàá jùlọ àwọn alága gbogbo bí tá bá lọ, please, when they send me invitation, they say for our engagement, I always correct them. Every wedding I go to, I always correct them. It is not engagement, it is traditional wedding. Ẹ jẹ́ ká mú yẹn sọ́wọ́ sí ara ọ̀làjú náà nìyẹn tá àwọn tó ti wá kò ní túmọ̀. One of these days, families are even excluded introduction and almost impossible on the day. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n máa ní pé kò sáyé fún ẹ má ṣe introduction kankan, ẹ má ṣe introduction kankan. Ẹ wo tẹ bá ti mú ìyàwó wọlé tí ìyàwó ti fi lẹ́tà àjọ tó ti ṣe ó ti tó kò ní ìdí pa ń ṣe introduction. Àwọn nǹkan burúkú pátápátá àwọn nǹkan tó ń ba àṣà wa tó ń bàjẹ́ nìyẹn. Please people, it's traditional marriage, it's traditional wedding, it is not engagement. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. Dewey's Creation, Lee Updated. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, ma'am. Mo dúpẹ́ Fádìmú. Wọ́n ní pé please let us bear in mind it is not nítorí pé tẹ́lẹ̀ tẹ̀kísà ń ta àtọ̀ ọwọ́ tá bá fi múra wa òun náà ni ọmọ aráyé máa fi mú wa. The way we are calling our traditional, ẹ máa gbọ́ táwọn ọmọ ìsinmi máa sọ wípé my wedding is tomorrow, my real wedding is tomorrow, today is my engagement. Èwo ni kò kí ń ṣe real wedding. Pàápàá jùlọ àwọn àkóbá tí ọ̀làjú tó kó bá ìgbéyàwó tiwantiwa òun ni ẹ̀sìn náà ó kó ipa ribiribi nínú nǹkan tó fà á tí ìgbéyàwó tiwantiwa tí kò fi ní ìtumọ̀ mọ́. The reason why our traditional wedding is no longer as important to us as it is òun ni ẹ̀sìn. You know, a lot of Christians will say, you are married traditionally, you are not married in church, so as a result of that, you are still not Mr. and Mrs. It is wrong. It is wrong. Thank you, ma. Lay Updated. Thank you so much, ma. Please, people, for those that are just joining us, we're talking about the influence of civilization on our Western civilization on our traditional wedding. You've said a lot. We said a lot. I think I just received a voice note. You've said a lot before you came in, but in case you're just joining us, that's what we're talking about tonight. The influence of tradition of civilization on our traditional wedding. I have a list of things that I put down here that are like advantages, and I have some that are not so of advantages. Okay, first of all, let me listen to this voice message that somebody left. Remember that you can leave us a voice note on +44 7828 500 938 +44 7828 500 938 to air your opinion. This particular topic, I'm going to build on it next week. We're going to talk about how our traditional wedding used to be back in the days, this step by step of things that were done, you know, the way things were done back in the days and the way things are being done now, you know, to weigh it side by side and then we can come to the conclusion whether or not the current way to do it is the best or is the worst. Because we need to look at it. What this Western civilization and our traditional wedding, is it a blessing or a curse? And we have said it, and I'm going to repeat it as many times as possible. Please, people, stop referring to our traditional wedding as engagement. It is not engagement, it is traditional wedding.
Good evening, everybody. My own little contribution is just to kind of buttress what Mommy that came on just said. There's a disadvantage and there's an advantage. Sherry, pick keep family more on. It's a good thing, don't get me wrong. It's a cultural thing and it's something we should embrace. However, it should come with boundaries, because a lot of families have disrupted marriages today because of this Amorawayi. Because to do the couple harm. People pop nose into the family and get involved in what they shouldn't be getting involved in and cross their boundaries. Well, that might affect a lot of marriages. And then we have to look at the society that we're in as well. Back in the days, my understanding is that a lot of ETO IGBEYAWO, so everybody more you understand. But nowadays, everybody scattered, not in a bad way. But then me one in America, and one in Ireland, and me one all over the world. Family will let them. You understand? So it's kind of like, I'm not against it, don't get me wrong, please don't misconstrue what I'm saying, but I think that's the reason why that has now been somewhat shelved by a lot of couples, because families get involved, and disrupt relationships. So I think it's a good idea. Yes, family culture-wise embraces is family orientated. However, there just should be boundaries. To me, I don't think it's necessarily compulsory extended family. My opinion, and it's only my opinion, is that get your blessings from your yadi baba. If your siblings are able, then all well and good. But cousin, first cousin, second cousin of my aunties, in-laws, cousin, sister's brother. Unnecessary. That's my own opinion. God bless you, and I'm hoping to see each other next week by the grace of God.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody. My own little contribution.
Thank you so much. That's coming from traditional ladies and gentlemen. Let me be a rational answer. One thing I always say on this show is, I'm not here to dictate to us that this is how to do things. Don't reach a verdict here. We all come here to rub minds and to agree on something. She just said that one of the reasons that she actually prefer that family should not be introduced and blah 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 is because she feels that I'm gonna introduce family. Let me tell you one thing that I know is, when we're talking about introducing family, we're not talking about Kalosi, you know, that some people, they don't even know their wife's cousins, and that thing is so funny, and she has said it as well. One of the things that is causing that as well is during my own wedding, I couldn't have all my siblings around because some of us were living so far away, you know, a lot of that. And I'm saying this, I've been married for 21 years. My husband has met one of my siblings only once because of the distance from where we're living. And all of that. But still, the importance of knowing each other, why Yorubas used to do it back in the day, is nowadays, if we are not careful, it will happen. Because even you know, like my children, they've seen my siblings' children a few times, not all the time. So those are the things that are now and thank God for Facebook, thank God for social media where they can see each other's pictures. Take about share and funny Facebook, social media, and it's one video call, not you know, I'm mobile to buy around it and one line affair. In continuation, shame on me more, lie your job to avoid confusion, to avoid things like that. So let us know that one be by any what if for come be or you are to love for come back. Ìdí tí wọ́n fi máa ń ṣe mọ́ mi mọ́ ní ayé ìgbà yẹn nìyẹn. Kọ́lọ̀ ń kójọ kó gbà fún wa. So we need to bear that in mind as well, that it's not just for the fun of it, it's for an advantage. I think we need to actually talk about the process of traditional wedding and why we do certain things that we do, especially back in the days. Like a lot of things that we have mentioned tonight, one of the most important ones, I did on this show before. I said, when I put the topic up, I was like, what go on in like mo kosi ipe ipe láyé ìgbà yẹn obìnrin gbọ́dọ̀ wà ní odidi ìbálé, gbọ́dọ̀ wà lára obìnrin tó bá fẹ́ ṣe ìgbéyàwó láyé ìgbà yẹn. But nowadays you can't find something like that. I don't know whether to call it a blessing or a curse, because I remember that day when we brought that topic up, somebody actually called and said, kí ni láyé ìsìn kó lọ gbé ẹlòmíì wọlé o mọ̀ bóyá ọkùnrin ní àbóbìnrin ni, àìmọye obìnrin tó ń lọ́yàn, ọkùnrin tó ń lọ́yàn ń sìn, àìmọye nǹkan tí ọ̀làjú náà máa dálẹ̀ náà ni gbogbo nǹkan tí à ń sọ yìí. Some people will say that no, let them meet. So some people they can't perform. So ọjọ́ yẹn ká gbé topic yẹn wá sórí ètò yìí. Orí ètò yìí gbóná jọjọ ni. People were just, everybody was just, that's those best. People that were saying no, they shouldn't be, and people that no, they should meet before the day. Only bó ṣe ń ṣe láyé ọjọ́. Then other things that was said about finding out about people is that you will know. The Lenke Joseph is saying loved ones can be introduced before the event, and I mean loved one, not necessarily Iruwa Ogiriwa. So yeah, that's another thing. You can introduce your loved ones before the event, not necessarily everybody in the family. So lóòótọ́ làwọn gbogbo alágbàdo dàgbọ́n délẹ̀ àmọ́ etí nínú bọ̀ kó ṣe wípé not knowing my own siblings now. You know, somebody coming to you, don't know everybody, my first cousins, my nephews, close members of the family. Be updated. People need to know that our introduction in Africa is our engagement proposal, and what they call engagement is our traditional wedding. Yes, so people need to understand that bit. The parent will say, "I want more year or come back." I think I'm missing out something there. Let me read. Yes, people need to remember engagement is engagement and wedding is wedding. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Yes, we need to understand that. It's the children's parents. Yeah. Yeah. This is someone talking about the fact that nowadays parents. I mean, another thing that's Olaju cause is parent now, instead of parent láyé ìgbà táwa ń ṣègbéyàwó àwọn òbí wa náà sọ fún wa nǹkan tá máa ṣe, but nísìn àwọn ọmọ náà ń sọ fún àwọn òbí nǹkan tá máa ṣe. Mommy, I just want àtẹ̀bádẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ jù wá gbọ́, it's my wedding, not yours. You know, they don't understand that òbí ló máa ń fọmọ fọ́kọ láyé sí. Ó fẹ́ lè jẹ́ pé àwọn ọmọ yẹn náà máa ṣàlàyé fún wọn, wọ́n máa dictate fún wa bí wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ kí nǹkan ṣe rí. Gbogbo nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ó ń ba nǹkan jẹ́ ni, ó dẹ̀ máa ń fa wàhálà. Somebody said at the beginning of this show that some people don't even want to dọ̀bálẹ̀ anymore. I heard when I put up a post on this episode of Is It Just Me, about the fact that we need to let people understand that it's our culture and they need to abide by our culture. Somebody actually said to me, somebody I didn't even expect it from, told me that and I'm like, no, it's our culture, it's our tradition. If you are coming to us to marry our children, you should be able to dobale. Then another thing again is the civilization has also brought cross culture, interracial marriages. That's another thing that civilization has brought, interracial, because we are now wide, we are spread worldwide. We are all over the world. We live in the UK, we live everywhere. We now have a lot of interracial and cross-cultural marriages, which I would say, well, I don't know whether it's an advantage or disadvantage, but it's part of the influences of civilization on our traditional wedding. A lot of times back in the days, kò sí nǹkan tó ń jọ pé mo lọ fẹ́ ọkọ ní ìlú òyìnbó, mo lọ fún òyìnbó àbí mo ní kò sí nǹkan tó jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Back in the days, it used to be, you know, within the àdúgbò, within the environment. There's a lot of things that could be right, and there's a lot of things that could be wrong. But I just feel that even with our dressing, that's another thing that we need to look at. I don't know. I want to try to. Everybody is quiet. People, please don't be quiet. What do you think about the way we dress to our traditional wedding now? The influence of, in the olden days, once traditional wedding has taken place, Iyawo was free to transfer to her in-laws' house. Yes, ma'am. That's from Jelenke Duchess on YouTube. You know, let's talk about even the way we dress nowadays. Ìmúra ọmọlúwàbí tá mú láyé ìgbà yẹn, ó ti fẹ́ di taboo nsìn. You know, you will see a bride that would always be naked. You will see a bride that cannot breathe because of the outfit. Kò sí nǹkan tó ṣe báṣọ wa láwọ̀ yìí. Aṣọ wa rèé náà. It's so beautiful. Aṣọ wa nìyí. Nǹkan tiwa tá bá tẹ̀ ní pé àwa ti fi tolóyìnbó díẹ̀ sí pé touch of, you know, aṣọ wa lélẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan tó ṣe aṣọ wa. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a máa rán àwọn ọmọ wa létí wípé tẹ̀lé kí sáà ń ta àtọ̀. Kò sí láyé ọjọ́ òun, kò sí ibi tí ìyàwó ti máa ṣègbéyàwó tí ó jẹ́ wípé ìlàjì ara ẹ̀ máa wà níta. That's another thing that we need to work on. Some bride cannot even breathe. Where is everybody? I want to hear from you. What do you think about the way we dress to traditional weddings nowadays? Even ìyá ìyàwó mi gan almost naked. I don't even know. I don't know. This civilization yẹn ó tún dé bí a ṣe ń múra. You know, bride dressing now is terrible. Yeah, àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ìyàwó to a blindfold the groom. So it must not be viewed as if this is fully married to me. Yes, man. So we need to understand that even the way we appear, the way we dress, láyé ọjọ́ àwọn ọmọ wa wà dìrẹ, wọ́n á rán ó lè kú, wọ́n ò ní sí almost forbidden. Corset yìí náà ṣáánẹ, ìyàwó mi ò ní lè mìíyà. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? I am not saying that people should not be modest. Fine, we can transfer some of these things, a touch of it. Some of the things I'm wearing tonight, even though it looks traditional, not completely traditional. There's a bit of westernization in everything I'm wearing tonight. But at least, what should be àṣà wa, you know, àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ìyàwó wọ́n rí wòwò, you know. Then bí a tiẹ̀ tún ṣe tún mú ìyàwó wọlé láyé ìsìn, láyé ọjọ́ òun, àwọn orin bíi ìyàwó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà, rọra mi àgbẹ̀sẹ̀ ní kankan. Àwọn tó máa ń kọ níbẹ̀ nígbà yẹn nìyẹn. Òkúta ń bẹ lọ́nà, rọra mi àgbẹ̀sẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ní sìn, ṣé o ti rẹ́dì? Mo ti rẹ́dì. Gbàngbàngbàngbàngbàngbàngbàngbà gbígbìgbìgbìgbìgbìgbà. Ìyàwó abọ́ bàtà sọnù lójú agbo. It was never like that. In fact, nowadays, nígbà tí àwa ń ṣègbéyàwó, irú àwa yìí o, even at the age 21 years ago, tá a sọ pé a ṣègbéyàwó, aṣọ òfin ló sì fi bu àwa lórí o. Nísìnyí net lásán, I'm hot, I don't want anything to cover my face. Take it off. I don't want to. Ìyàwó wá sáàrin èrò láì má borí, láì má bojú. Nígbà tó jẹ́ wípé Yorùbá máa dídí ìpòwé wípé ẹni tó ń gbéyàwó wá bá kì í garùn. Kí ni ìdí? Because wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé ìyàwó yẹn wọ́n máa kọ́kọ́ bò lójú. Ó jẹ́ ká tẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ fi ọ̀wọ̀ yẹn fún un. Ó yẹ ká kọ́kọ́ fi ọ̀wọ̀ yẹn pé but gbogbo ayé ti rójú, wọ́n ti rára, wọ́n ti rọ́yàn, wọ́n ti rí. Then ní ọ̀nà tí àwọn ọkọ gan ti máa tó ṣe máa ń ṣe pẹ̀lú ìyàwó lójú agbo. Mo rí ìgbéyàwó kan bó tẹ̀lé pé kò ṣe traditional wedding after party, lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n ti ṣe traditional wedding tán, tí wọ́n ti ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ tán, àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ìyàwó gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ìyàwó wọ́n ti wá ra nǹkan kan tó jọmọ́ manhood, private part. Òun náà rọ drink sí, tó ń ṣe làbà, tó ń ṣe gbogbo orúkọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kò sí nínú àṣà wa rárá. Wọ́n máa ń ṣe àṣálẹ̀ omidan, but nǹkan tó máa fi ṣe lálẹ́ ọjọ́ òun tí olóyìnbó ń pè ní sisters night. Wọ́n máa ń ṣe àṣálẹ̀ àwọn àpọ́n náà tí wọ́n ń pè ní bachelors night. Wọ́n máa ṣe ní decent way, kọ́ mọ mi, kọ́ kọrin, kọ́ dára wọn lára yá, òun ni. Ṣùgbọ́n láyé ìsìn, wàá rí àwọn ọmọ wa, wọ́n láwọn ṣe after party lẹ́yìn traditional wedding. Ẹlòmíì ìjọkọ̀ mórí kan, ó kí orí bọ abẹ́ aṣọ ìyàwó ẹ̀ lójú àwọn òbí ìyàwó. Mórí ìyá yẹn tí ìyá yẹn ṣe báyìí lójú gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ìyá ẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ kí orí ọkọ yẹn korí bọ nínú abẹ́ aṣọ ẹ̀ ní abẹ́, ó korí bọ̀, ó fẹsẹ̀, ó fi ẹnu fa nǹkan lábẹ́bẹ̀. Gbogbo orúkọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kò ń ṣàṣà wa. Tẹ́ bá tiẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe, ẹ má jẹ́ kó jẹ́ gbà tí àwọn òbí yín bá ṣe wà lórí ìjókòó. Personally, I think that is just way out of it. I'm not even trying to be religious here. I'm not talking about that. I always say on this show is not a religious show. But let's talk about moral. Let's talk about our tradition. Let's talk about our culture. Ṣé àṣà wa ṣó fàyè gbà kí ọkùnrin máa kọ orí bọ abẹ́ aṣọ ìyàwó ní ọjọ́ ìgbéyàwó? Wọ́n ní okay, fine, you may kiss the bride. Àṣà wa náà kọ́ ni kissing, ṣùgbọ́n a ti wá mú wọnú àṣà yìí sí. Ó wá kẹnu bọ̀yàwó lẹ́nu níṣojú àwọn òbí ẹ̀. Ó wá wà bẹ́ẹ̀ for the next 5 minutes. Wọ́n sọ tí ò dákẹ́. I mean, some things need to be done in moderation. The day I was told to tell the DJ to play it, I asked like twice before I was told it's a song. Ewo tún nìyẹn. Mo ti missing tell me about you. It's got it. I'm missing out. I tell you, this that song is so. Which song is that? I missed out on that song. Which song is that? Yeah, oh, she be like, she did bala. You know when a group, yeah, that's another thing. Our music is no longer, they no longer appreciate our music. They now appreciate, all this raw music that does not, is not part of our culture. I mean, I'll share after party later, but for our traditional wedding, ẹ ká fi ọwọ́ pé àwọn òbí wa àtàwọn ọ̀rẹ́. Mo ti rí ibi tí àwọn parents ìyàwó àti parent ọkọ wọ́n cringe lórí ìjókòó báyìí because of the way tí àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ìyàwó àti ọkọ ìyàwó ṣe jìjọ ń ṣe. Mo wo kan, wọ́n ní kó play orin fún ọkọ tó máa fi jẹ́ wọlé. Ó ní, of course I fucked up. Who never fucked up? Raise your hand. Mo ní, ha! Lọ́jọ́ ìgbéyàwó ẹ lọ́ọ́ má jẹ́ fuck up. All those things, we need to watch it. We need to watch it. And another thing is, we the Alagas, we have a lot of work to do. Let us enlighten them. I know some people will not listen, but àwa ní àkọsílẹ̀ wípé a bá wọn sọ tọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n bá wá gbọ́. Èmi ti mo ti rí ibi tí mo ti bá ìyàwó sọ̀rọ̀ rí pé ó lè máa pàṣẹ fún wa pé àwọn ọkọ ẹ̀ ò lè dọ̀bálẹ̀. Ó lè wọn kọ́ wọn lè dọ̀bálẹ̀ o. My mom, they cannot. Auntie, they don't want it. They can't. Auntie, they don't. Nigeria, they can't. Somebody, àṣà wa ni jẹ́ ká ṣe. Ó ní no. Àwọn òbí ẹ̀ náà bá dá sí wọn ní ẹ jẹ́ ká fi wọ́n lẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n láwọn dọ̀bálẹ̀ náà nìyẹn. Irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká wá àkọsí sí. Jẹ́ kí n gbọ́.
Emma, interrupt. I think a lot of this thing boils down to foundation, about upbringing, about the way we are raising these children. Sometimes I'm always been a fan of when my child is crawling, when my child is learning to walk, is when you're starting to instill certain values, certain cultures within the child by the grace of God. The Bible even supports it that because we allow these children to get a lot of us, let me not be stereotypical, to get away with murder. You see, and it's all under the umbrella of whereas you traditionally, like, it's an experience I've had. Sabumi knows about it. When I went I went for a traditional wedding and the girl was the one dictating to the mother. Comments to make topic contact because of not being cultured, because of not being educated, because of not being learned in that area. Of what our values are and the reason behind it. It's not just because I'm not shaking in. I got a traditional wedding. It's about ṣàlàyé fáwọn ọmọ yìí ìdí. Tá a bá ṣàlàyé àǹfààní tó wà ń bẹ̀, wọ́n máa feel pé àwọn people yìí kàn fẹ́ take control. Bí mo ṣe wà yìí, mo ṣe dàgbà tó ilé, mo ṣe kéré tó yìí. Bàbá mi ò lè sọ̀rọ̀ sí mi kí n wojú bàbá mi. I can't. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tó gba ọdún méje lọ́wọ́ mi gan, I cannot. Do you understand? But the problem that we have is the way we call on one you understand? But still, we have our roles to play. We have to take accountability. Because especially in the society that a lot of us are, it's not what they're teaching them. How much they pay in primary 1 or whatever is nursery, they'll tell them, call 999, come on, mom, if your parents shout at you, if your parents they come. They don't teach them respect your parents. They don't teach them don't talk back. So we have to have that in mind as well, because when the day comes by the grace of God, we have to consider those kind of occasions that will come. Now you want to start dictating when you didn't train your child in the right way. Then I want to dictate, but now invitation there. I don't want all that to because they don't know. They don't value the culture. They don't value, the upbringing or what the traditional wedding brings. So we have to educate our children from day one. It might be the boom by time. God bless you.
That's coming from traditionally. Thank you so much for that contribution. And continue. Mo fẹ́ fàyọ̀ gbọ̀gbọ̀ níbi ẹni pé Yorùbá gan pòwe wọ́n ní pé kékeré ọmọ tó bá máa já ṣàmù kékeré báyìí ló máa ti máa ṣẹ̀rù ṣàmùṣàmù kékeré ni mọ̀lẹ́ ti máa ń kọ́ ọmọ ẹ̀ lẹ́sìn. We need to start teaching our children. I've seen where children will be dictating to their parents, Mommy, you can only bring 5 people, you can only bring 10 people. Excuse me. I even did one. The couple, as soon as they finished this thing, what called disappear, and one our parents represent one cake cutting. I want to represent. They left. Oh, all on go for one more tall. You should go back where I shall. Gbàgbà pé àwọn ọmọ tọ́ wọ́n nígbà míì a ní láti máa sọ fún àwọn ọmọdé yìí pàápàá jùlọ àwọn tí wọ́n sí ní ilé tó pé òkè òkun náà, but please don't let me lie to you. Àwọn tí wọ́n wà ní Nàìjíríà gan worst gan sìn tó jẹ́ pé ibẹ̀ lẹ́ máa ti máa rí ẹ máa ti máa show àwọn ọmọ wẹ́wẹ́wẹ́wẹ́ ọmọ tó yẹ pé kò tí jọmọ 15 years your boyfriend once said àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó máa fi jáde lẹ́nu ẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run máa bà wá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún àwọn ọmọ yìí kí ló dé. Àṣà wa ò gbàgbàkúgbà, àṣà wa ò gbà rádaràda, àṣà wa ò gbà yàmàyàmà. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká tẹ ojú ilẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ lórí pé à ń ṣọ̀làjú. Ọ̀làjú dá o, ó ní a lot of advantages which we are still going to emphasize on next week when we continue on this topic as well. A lot of things ọ̀làjú ti ṣe é sì tó ti jẹ́ pé ó jẹ́ kó rọrùn fún wa. Àmọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ ká torí ọ̀làjú gẹ́gẹ́ bí nǹkan tí Alhaji Saheed Olùṣùpá sọ. Ọ̀làjú ló dé láwa gbàgbé gbogbo àṣà ìdílé wa. Civilization ló jẹ́ ká gbàgbé ohun tá a bá lé ayé délé ayé bá. Àwọn nǹkan míì náà wà tá à ń ṣe láyé ọjọ́ òun tí ò bójúmu tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀làjú ló ràn wá lọ́wọ́ tá a fi bọ́ nínú ẹ̀. We need to talk about that as well. Wọ́n ṣe topic àlè parí lé ní rárá lọ́sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run àti máa tẹ̀síwájú lórí topic yìí. Ó ṣe kókó. Let us continue to say it. Let's preach it. Those of us who are alaga, let's encourage people. Although we cannot dictate to the family, they said he that pays the piper dictate the tune. Mo lọ ṣe kọ́ àwọn ọkọ ìyàwó sọ fún mi nígbà tí mo ṣe ìpàdé pẹ̀lú àwọn òbí ẹ̀. Ọkọ ìyàwó sọ pé àǹtí tó bá di kinní kan wọ́n náà wá kinní kan tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá ṣe tán mo máa walk away. Níṣojú àwọn parents ìyàwó ẹ̀. Who does that? Tó bá ṣe wá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ kó ṣe lóye lóye kan ti gba ẹjọ́ máa àǹtí ẹjọ́ má jẹ́ kó ju 1 hour o. Kinní kan, that's a different way of saying things. You don't tell me in front of your parents-in-law ipe tí ẹ̀ bá ṣe tán nígbà bàbá mo máa dìde mo máa walk away. Ìyẹn ọkọ ìyàwó ló ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Kọ́nà kó fún wa láwọn ọmọ ìtọ́ lóòótọ́ káwa náà ká dẹ̀ ṣe kíni ká fi àṣà wa ká fi síbi tó yẹ kó wà. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká kọ́mẹ̀ntì tó kù kí tó di pé a pa ojú ètò yìí dé. Wọ́n ní some alagas that hold banana and told the bride to lick and stock it during I was like, what are the parents doing? No. Mo ti rí alága kan náà. I remember that they called the alága to order. Tí ó ní kí ìyàwó kó gbọ́wọ́ síbi engine house ọkọ ẹ̀ tó ń bè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ṣó lé lójú gbogbo èrò. Tí ọmọọṣẹ́ alága náà wá gbẹ́nu sínú microphone. Ó ti lé ṣé wọ́n bá ọ fọwọ́ kan bẹ̀ wọ́n bẹ̀ tó ṣáà yín insist pé kí ìyàwó gbọ́wọ́ sí private part. Ó kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. A máa torí ọ̀làjú ká bayé jẹ́. Then idea wípé kíyàwó ní kíyàwó má jókòó má túraká kó ṣe dáadáa kó ṣe èmi náà kọrin fún ìyàwó kó ṣe ti mọ who is in the garden gbogbo níta dẹ̀ ń kọ́ ń sìn wọn àwọn ọmọ yẹn fẹ́. It's not that pain is our pain but they love it, they enjoy it. But tó bá ti wá ń di pé ṣé o ti ready tó bá bàtàkì ní fíàm bàtàkì ní fíàm lọ́jọ́ ìgbéyàwó ń kọ́ ẹlẹ́gẹ́ ní ìgbéyàwó. I am not a party to that. Now I'm not here to condemn the alaga that are doing that, but I will not subscribe to that. Ìyàwó, you need to be modest. You need to be modest on your wedding. Tó bá tẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe pé ẹ fẹ́ go gaga, let it be during the after party, not during the ceremony. Tó bá bàtà sí gbó kí ìyàwó máa dáṣà pé I don't want to cover my head. Ẹ̀kọ́ tí ẹ sọ fún mi rí ìyàwó yẹn ó feel hot. Mo ní pẹ̀lú net nílùú òyìnbó. Nígbà tẹ́ pé láyé ìgbà tiwa òfì báyìí òfì tó fi bòmí lórí kódà ó fẹ́ wọ̀ mí lọ́rùn. Ní Nàìjíríà nínú ooru máa sọ pé ooru pa wá. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká bayé jẹ́. Yes, I've seen it so many times. I've seen a lot of àwọn bọ́ bàtà dànù. Ṣé o ti ready? Mo ti ready. Ṣé o ti ready? Mo ti ready. Gbangba ìyàwó dẹ̀ bọ́ bàtà fíù. Ha! I'm not here to condemn anybody, but ẹ jẹ́ ká rọra ṣe. Ẹ̀yàn kan ní àríyáwó rẹ̀ mọ́ tilẹ̀. Ohun ẹlẹ́gẹ́ ní ìgbéyàwó tiwantiwa. I don't know about people. The passion that I personally have for our traditional wedding, lọ́wọ́ yẹn. Má yẹ ká bayé jẹ́. Àwọn kò bàjẹ́ láyé àwọn tó ṣíwájú. Ẹ má yẹ kó bàjẹ́ ní ayé títí wa. I'm not saying we should not know, I do sing music in the garden, komole, hey, this, I sing that, go lagbaja, go kinika, go. We can sing it, but we need to sing bata. Kò lè tó yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wọ aṣọ tá máa wọ̀. Ọ̀làjú dé, ìyàwó ọ̀sìngín. Gbogbo ọyàn ẹ̀ tí wà ń ta, gbogbo ayé ti rí nǹkan tí ọkọ torí ẹ̀ wà. Ayé ìmúná ti ń ṣe rú ẹ̀. Ọ̀làjú dé. Ọkọ ìyàwó kórí bọ abẹ́ aṣọ ìyàwó ní ojú àwọn òbí ẹ̀. Ọ̀làjú dé. A kó àwọn toys ohun èròjà tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe eré lọ́kọláya nínú ilé sex toys. A kó wọn wá sí orí ibi tá ti fẹ́ ṣe ìgbéyàwó wá pín ní gbogbo. ọ̀làjú dé ẹ má jẹ́ àbáyé jẹ́. Òyìnbó ló ṣèwé dìwé ọ̀làjú ṣàlàṣe. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa òun fana fún tó ti gbé ṣe ẹ̀dẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe máa ń sọ lórí ètò yìí pé àní lè ṣe abala kí ni kì í ṣe léyìn lọ́sọ̀dẹ́gbọ̀n ọlọ́run mo ní abala kí ni ṣe ṣùgbọ́n nítorí àkókò ó máa ń wù ní ká jẹran pẹ́lẹ́nu ní ọ̀sẹ̀ àmọ́ òun fana fún yìí náà ṣáá òun ni kì í gbà fún wa tó bẹ́ẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ó fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ gbogbo pátápátá tí ẹ bá mi dá sẹ́tò lénìí mo dúpẹ́ kú gbogbo ìgbà ẹ kú àdúrótì àti gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ṣagbátẹrù ètò yìí pátápátá mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ kú gbogbo ìgbà ẹ kú àdúrótì a máa rí yín bá o mo wá fàsìkò yìí dágbére fún gbogbo wa èmi Olúwabùnmi aya Òṣìbẹ̀rù mo dágbére fún gbogbo wa wípé lílọ ni mo tuntun ti ń lọ yìí mo gbà ládùúrà wípé lílọ tí mò ń lọ lẹ́ni ogun ó lọ kò dé kò ní bá mi ogun ó dé kò bá wọn kò ní jẹ́ ti yín lọ́lá Ọlọ́run ọba mo gbà ládùúrà wípé àlàáfíà ìdùnnú ayọ̀ tí mo fi yín sílẹ̀ ní òun náà ni màá tún padà wá bá yín lọ́sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run wọ́n fàsìkò sọ fún gbogbo wa wípé láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o mo ní láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o èyí ò ní forí gún èmi ò ní fẹsẹ̀ kọ mọ́tò yòówù ká lè wọ̀ ó ní forí sọ̀gì o láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Thank you so much everybody. See you next week by the special grace of God. God bless you. Bye.
Traditional wedding. Traditional wedding.
Thank you everybody. Next week by God's grace.
Traditional wedding. ETO IGBEYAWO tó bọ̀ ní lọ́gbọ̀n. Traditional wedding. Ṣé ti gbọ́? Ètò lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ traditional wedding ó lọ lọ́wọ́. Kí lorúkọ ètò náà? Traditional wedding ETO IGBEYAWO tó bọ̀ ní lọ́gbọ̀n. Traditional wedding. Every Tuesday on Instagram. Every Tuesday on Facebook. 6 p.m. UK time. Every Tuesday on Facebook. ETO IGBEYAWO tó fún ni lóye. Let's talk traditional wedding. ETO IGBEYAWO tó fún ni lóye. Let's talk
traditional wedding. Thank you so much everybody. See you next week by the special grace of God. God bless you. Bye. God bless you.